mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like we got the alternative team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I sure got 17, and like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Sharp a little late, boys, at the spring game, obviously, as you can see. A couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's do it. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. And I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. Nice start.
Big day.
Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. All right, welcome in to a Tuesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. As always, we are powered and built by our friends over at RMB Builders. Shout out to Rhett Bourgeois and the crew, RMB. Around the holidays, if you're thinking about adding one to the house, get in touch with Rhett, rmb-builders.com, or on Instagram at RMB Builders. Phone line always brought to you by our friends over at Southern Regional Medical Center. Shout out to our friends Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan. No Brooke during the 7 o'clock hour. Rue has an appointment with the vet this morning. All good. We're going to reschedule Brooke, I believe, on Thursday morning. She's going to stop through here. But we will talk to Wilson Alexander coming up in the 8 o'clock
Derek
hour.
Carr with Rue.
Obviously,
Put him out to pasture.
We will talk to Wilson about the latest with LSU. Jayden Daniels named a Heisman finalist officially yesterday, so he'll be making the trip up to New York coming up this weekend. We're watching the transfer portal, and Baton Rouge native, another Louisiana standout defensive back, made his name, put his name into the transfer portal. We'll tell you who coming up here, and 4-star defensive lineman Gabe Relaford is set to make his announcement, bumped it up to December 8th.
Friday.
So he'll be making that on Friday
LSU and USC.
out of LSU and USC.
I mean, Lincoln.
No way.
Stay on that side of the country. Dog.
No way, huh?
No way. Evangel has some history with USC.
No doubt they do.
That's what Gabe Relaford was saying.
No doubt they do.
I mean,
I can think of one.
Booty?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only one I can think of.
is
Is that it?
I would think so.
Yeah.
mean,
But I guess the other play would
John
be
David Booty?
Yeah, the UCLA defensive.
coordinator
Just went over there, so that could be like a little.
Coach.
I know.
Beast. Beast.
with those athletes.
That is
too.
LSU is
so
standing.
that's Anthony Lynn's son. Right? And his story is pretty I mean, he's a stud. That's a big loss for Chip Kelly.
Yeah. I mean,
Big get for Lincoln Riley.
I don't know what Chip Keller's doing at UCLA.
I thought he was
Sound like he
going
was
to get.
hanging on to his job.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially now, if you lose
Dante Moore.
Yeah, he's in the portal,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
and you
think
lose
he's
your
on Florida
defensive
State.
coordinator. It feels like every other. The tides are moving slowly, or the tides of change are happening all around you. And then if you're UCLA brass, you're like, well, Chip Kelly,
Yeah. Speaking of Florida
the
State,
man doesn't want to recruit, loses a defensive coordinator,
Loses his
his
quarterback.
He's fine though.
yeah. Speaking of Florida State's trying to move to the SEC.
Yeah, well, I mean, now they are.
North Carolina, Florida State, Miami, and Duke. I want to say it was those four.
What are we doing?
Hey, look, you want
Don't
some of
shoot
that
the
action?
messenger.
You want some of that smoke? Come get it.
Well, I mean, they got left out, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. Gotta.
you got to get to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Clemson's
is
still standing
Can't
firm.
beat
still
'em.
standing outside.
Can't beat them. Join them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And Clemson's standing firm in the no, we're ACC party.
We
Let's
ain't
see here.
going
Thomas
nowhere,
Jorgensen.
Tyler.
Appreciate Thomas Jorgensen with the
Super chat.
with the super chat. They wanted Alabama in so bad that they put the team that beat them in. They wanted Alabama in so bad that Georgia had to go undefeated. They wanted Bama in so bad that they took an undefeated team. Good luck, everyone else. Look, I agree. We said it yesterday. That if Bama's close, they're not going to leave them out, and they were not going to leave the SECs out. They're not going to leave the SEC out. So, I mean, I think that you could see that coming. I mean, for as unfair and the pushback that everybody was shoving against what happened to Florida State, and I get it. I also understand why the Final Four is what it is, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make a lot of sense for Florida State. It sucks if you're a Florida State player, but in the grand scheme of it, I never doubted that they were going to leave the SEC champ out, and especially if the SEC champ is Nick Saban in Alabama. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. So,
And Thomas, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
The Tide.
so I mean, it was.
But they're the only team that gets this, right?
Yeah.
Alabama, it still feels like it's a little bit of preferential treatment where it's almost the benefit of the doubt. Where it's like, okay.
I don't know if there's any team in that scenario that's a one-loss SEC champ. I don't believe you can keep them out.
But they've been a team that's also lost the SEC championship and gotten in.
And that, but
Was it
this
Georgia?
this year was a little different. I mean,
Yeah.
this year was different in the sense where you could I mean, people were starting to sell that there was going to be a Final Four that did not include the SEC. I never bought into that. I never bought in that they were going to field a Final Four without the Southeastern Conference champ. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, right? I mean, it was just not. I mean, it would be like having a rock concert without a headliner. I mean, you got all these secondary acts, but you're like, all right. I mean, like, where's Drake? Where's the Rolling Stones? I mean, where's the A-list? Where's the headline of the field? And I mean, Alabama's the 4 seed. Alabama's the only team that they're talking about, right? And it goes for how they got in, why they got in, but it's still the SEC, and it's the brand. I mean, it brings credibility to the field, and that might be conference arrogance or conference bias, whatever you want to call it, but it's the truth. You can't settle a college football championship without the Southeastern Conference in the field. I mean, you want to talk about put an asterisk next to a national champ. Even if Texas was the champ and they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, there would still be a curiosity of you didn't beat the league champ.
You didn't beat this Alabama.
Whether it was the Alabama team or not. So there was never a scenario for anyone that was in that boardroom that was going to place a field that did not include the SEC champ. And we could argue because of the television contract that exists between the $1 billion contract between the league and ABC and Disney. And I'm sure that has something to do with it. I mean, let's not be naive and think that there's not a voice or someone who is informed about how the field is going to look before that goes down. I mean, people, was ESPN colluding with probably? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, probably so, yeah. I mean, I'm sure if there was a court case or if there was some type of legal action where people were, diving in and finding discovery, you'd probably find some shady stuff.
Didn't Reese Davis go to Alabama?
Yeah, he went to Alabama.
Yeah, he went to Alabama. Well, and if you
But
look
I mean,
what you will.
But I mean, look, LSU's got as many voices as
Yeah.
anybody
Booger,
on the panel.
Spears.
I mean, they took a commercial break from Booger, and he was gone. Like, he was pushing back on everything that Reese was saying. He was kind of keeping it real, and like they went to a commercial break. Next thing you know, like it's just like Galloway and Reese.
Boog,
thank you.
You
pack it
know
up.
what I mean? Like,
Take that suit off.
you're not pushing the company line.
Yeah, sweating too much, Boog.
You know what I mean?
Go
Step
get,
off. Yeah.
get in the Boogermobile.
Hit the showers.
Yes. That was
So
good. Good
I
seg.
I don't, I mean, I definitely think that the Alabama brand made it easier for people back behind the, behind the doors to put Alabama in. But if the league champ was a one-loss LSU team, they were putting them in.
Yeah.
If the league champ was a one-loss Georgia team, they were putting them in. If it was a one-loss Ole Miss team, they were putting them in. If it was a one-loss Florida team, they were putting in the SEC champ because there was no way.
They weren't getting in.
And there's no way you can settle the national championship in a playoff format without the Southeastern Conference represented. And people don't want to hear that outside of this region, but it's the truth. And that's what the committee was tasked to do, being that there's a human element in that room, and this is what the human element is for. This is where the human element has to make decisions like this, where it doesn't make a lot of sense for Florida State fans, but for college football fans, you want to see the best for. What's going on over there?
I'm reading this headline that says USC quarterback Caleb Williams will not play in the Holiday Bowl, and then they have in parentheses wanted partial ownership of the bowl game to play.
This guy.
What
the fuck is wrong with him?
Talk about entitlement. You
What
think
the
the SEC
is
has some
wrong with this
entitlement built
man?
in? How do you get partial ownership? Has anybody?
Of a bowl game that you're gonna play in one time.
I mean, if
Caleb.
I was
What a wild
USC after that,
request.
I'd be like, you need to go.
Yeah, bro, just go.
You need to go, bro. Like I mean,
Has anybody ever thought to ask for that?
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that, bro. Take your
Like
bowl
you want in
gift.
I
perpetuity?
don't know what that is. I mean,
He wants ownership. He wants stake.
I know, like, but
I'm
just
playing
for
in the
this one,
game. I want stake.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, he is the draw. It'd be the same thing if he's not playing. Nobody's gonna watch. But
Where's the Holiday Bowl?
imagine if they had been actually
Oh, it's
good.
in
What if he
San
was in the
Diego.
CFP playoff? He's like, I want steak in the Sugar Bowl.
I
I'm not in.
need steak in the Sugar Bowl. I'm not playing. Because
Because what's to stop him from asking? I mean, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, I
No, okay.
playing in Petco Park against Louisville.
So it's in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wants to stay on that West Coast.
Yeah,
See if they'll give him something.
but he's
Taxes
not,
on it.
Yeah, but he's not from the
But
West
you-
Coast, so it's just
You,
weird.
you talk about like the, I guess SEC bias. What would have happened if Jordan Travis doesn't get hurt?
Ooh, now you got a point. Now it's like,
well,
no.
I mean, now Texas is in trouble.
Yep, Texas probably would have got in.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
You're in the weakest conference. Sorry, bro. Gotta.
I mean,
We
they
mix-
were putting the SEC in.
Yeah,
Like,
they'd be on the phone with Sark.
I'm telling you,
Sark, sorry, coach. Like, look,
better luck next year when you're
Yeah.
in the league.
yeah,
Because it was going to be one of the two. Either Yeah, I guess so, because Florida State undefeated, ACC champ, and then Texas has just the one loss. But then you wouldn't put Alabama in if Texas doesn't get in. It would have been Georgia.
But you look at who Texas lost to and who Alabama lost to. Alabama lost to Texas. Texas lost to Oklahoma.
That's the human element.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the debate that you don't really have to explain. You know, like if you're Boo Corrigan, it's like, hey, man, as political as you can keep it, get out there and use all the buzzwords.
Mm-hmm. And Bo Nix is completing 78% of his
Right.
passes.
One more thing. Before we go.
But there's no
Texas's opponents were, you know, I mean, just like some just out of left field in the clouds. So that's why we decided to go with Alabama.
We've left out an SEC champ before in Auburn in 2004.
Bama in Bama.
Yeah.
Forcing the intern to write up like random facts.
Right.
Just does the McConnell.
Did you know the city of Austin lost a battle to Alabama in 1865? Therefore, the tiebreaker goes to Alabama.
With all the controversies,
And we're going to slide them in.
We can't lose another Bevo. Just too much smoke around Texas. Can't lose an animal.
But that's why next year's going to be so much better.
Next year's
And really, you kind of miss it. You kind of miss it by a year because it was made for stuff like this, where you take the chaos out of it and you put the 12 best teams in it and just figure it out on the field. But
weren't they trying to start the playoff this year?
They were trying to. They were trying to.
Would anybody be mad if they did? Just go to 6 teams.
No. And I mean, like, I
think LSU would have a case this year.
I think somebody should
12.
approach Georgia and Florida State and say, like, throw them in, like, some type of round robin, some type of, like.
Here's the preview of what a 12 team would look like.
Pull up at said stadium and let's play.
Here, we'll fund it. We'll be the sponsor of. I mean, like, can you imagine how many people would watch that?
Because I think Georgia and Florida State, they give any of these teams in the playoff a run for their money.
Yeah, they're playing each other in the Orange Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
I know, but it should.
What is that?
It should be a playing
Georgia
game.
would beat the brakes off of Washington.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Georgia would beat.
It would get ugly.
Georgia would beat. In my opinion, they would beat Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's Kirby and Nick Saban.
Kirby is going to curb stop Florida State
against Texas. Like that crash course, that collision course that Bama and Texas are on, it doesn't spell well for Texas, especially without Xavier Worthy, because Bama's been playing high level on defense, especially in the defense
since the LSU game. Really,
and they got a New Iberia native playing cornerback now since Kool-Aid McKinstry's hurt.
How bad is he hurt?
I don't know, but he
was it concussion?
He was in street clothes at SEC championship.
That was a UL transfer that came in.
Yeah, Trey Amos. Yeah, he's from New Iberia.
Yeah, Trey Amos. Yeah, LSU was after him hard.
Yeah, but I mean, Saban, DBs, gotta go with Saban.
LSU's playing us at DB.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm out there getting cooked, coach. He's getting beat like he stole something.
I'm fighting
5 times player of the week. 5 times.
I'm fighting for my life, coach. I'm doing the best I can do.
Yes.
Like this.
Go find Dabo's son and put him in on kick
return. Tyler.
Remember Daily, we're brought to you by our friends over at Katie's Restaurant down in New Orleans. Katie's on Iberville Street down in New Orleans. You can find them there right in the heart of Mid-City. 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Sunday. So if you're looking for a spot to post up and watch games this weekend, NFL games, they got brand new TVs all over the place. Going to be down there this weekend with the Superdome, with the state title games. Crank up on Thursday. Actually, the first game of the day is fantastic with Southern Lab taking on, I had the schedule pulled up, hang on. But if you're down in New Orleans this weekend, a lot of Baton Rouge teams are represented. If you're down there, stop in and see Katie's and check them out. Tell them you heard it here on the show. And it's a great place to catch the taste of New Orleans. Riverside taking on Southern Lab, 3:30 on Thursday. But check out Katie's. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com.
The only place to watch the Saints game. So you can just get blackout drunk and not remember what you saw.
Wait, did you see the place in Iowa that was giving out? They were giving out free beer
for every time they scored a touchdown.
No,
every yard.
No, they were giving out free beer until Iowa scored a touchdown.
Oh no!
My God!
And they did not score.
Did they get alcohol poison?
check on those folks in Iowa.
Hell yeah.
The Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
We won the game.
Kirk Ferentz.
Not the game, but the drinking game.
I mean,
You can't fix it.
no,
That thing's broken.
it is.
Somebody find number 4 for me. Shit.
I mean, it is.
Can he play DB? Is he a DB?
Painful how bad they are on offense.
It is.
Like watching LSU's offense and then turning them on is like.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's like some sort of like torture.
It's like going from watching like a elite NFL offense to watching like 6U
yeah, it
flag.
really is.
Like,
Which just
Kids.
hand it off. Like
It's just rewinding the tape 10 years if you're an LSU fan. We're like, oh. Like, you
It
can't
is.
even watch it because it's PTSD. It's
It
like,
really
oh.
is.
I think it's LSU's offense was
they had-
slightly
well,
better.
they
They
just
had
put
be-
Leonard
they just-
Fournette on
They just
Iowa.
had better play. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
exactly.
that's
I mean,
it.
Fournette's going to break one if you keep handing it to him.
That's what Les was thinking. At some point, he's going to get going.
One of my favorite weeks of here early in the holiday season coming up this weekend down in New Orleans. If you have taken in the state championships over the years, you know that this has always been a pretty cool weekend. The LHSAA has tried very hard to screw this up with the non-select, the select, and the principals around the state are really the guilty ones here for splintering this thing. But now you have so many games that start on Thursday, as we said. But it's a beautiful product, man. High school football in the state of Louisiana is thriving, as always. And it really kind of culminates this weekend down in the Dome. As we said, a Baton Rouge team gets it going Thursday as Southern Lab will be taking on Riverside Academy. Southern Lab, the Kittens, the second-seeded Kittens in Division IV select, will be kicking that game off at 3:30. They'll be followed by the non-select game, Haynesville and Oak Grove, at 7 o'clock that night. Then on Friday, Opelousas going to the Dome as the 12 seed.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the 337. Got some
making it-
teams in there from the 337.
Making
coach.
it to the Dome, playing Cecilia, another 337 team. That's the Division II non-select game. The Division III non-select game is Union Parish versus St. James. Last one out of St. James hit the lights. The whole city will be in the Dome, 3:30 on Friday afternoon. Union Parish and the Wildcats kick off at 3:30. Then Friday night, a big one, Division I select game, Acadiana taking on Catholic High. The Wrecking Rams of Acadiana, the 8th seed, taking on the 3rd-seeded Catholic High. First-year head coach Hudson Fuller had the Bears in the Dome, taking on the Wreck on Saturday night. That on Friday night, that should be a fantastic game on Friday night. Then Saturday, this will be a good one.
How many games are there?
I mean,
they've cut the whole state up, bro.
Yeah, it's 4 divisions for select and non-select. So
then
do with
Saturday,
that what you will.
Saturday's probably the best day of like full day of action if you want to go in there. Noon, LCA, so Jawan Johnson and LCA
I would pay for that.
taking on St. Thomas More. LCA going back. This is a rematch of last year,
Yeah,
and St. Thomas More like won at the buzzer.
at the yep.
I mean, like it was dramatic.
like a Hail Mary.
Yes.
like
a dramatic win over LCA. So a rematch of last year's finals, STM and LCA taking each other. Then the one that I want to go see Saturday is Simon, the running back from Calvary Baptist, who is the second-rated running back in the state behind Harlan Berry next year, taking on St. Charles, who is third. This is a pair. This is number 1 versus number 2. So you got the top 2 teams in Division III select. Calvary Baptist is 13-0. St. Charles is 13-0. That's a 3:30 kickoff Saturday afternoon inside the Dome, and then Saturday night the nightcap. The Zachary Broncos, after a wild win on Friday and Saturday versus Dutchtown, are going to be taking on the number 1 Ruston Bearcats, and Ruston looks like a junior college team.
yeah.
Like they get off the bus, and you're like,
Who's there? Is he? I want him.
oh
I'll
my
take that
goodness.
one too. I'll take him too.
I mean, like Kyle Williams is the defensive coordinator for the
Just-
Bears. Like they're for real. I was trading text messages back with Brew last night, and I was like, good luck. He was like, shit.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to need all of it, baby.
They got our attention.
But, I mean, this is, like Kirby, this is a Brew special.
Yeah.
This is a David Brewerton and a Zachary special where nobody in the world thinks that the 6-seeded Broncos are going to do this. And Brew, where he's got the rings already, and he's had these teams.
Yeah.
Like he's had the team where you get off the bus and you're like, you better not lose, bro, because you got the better team.
I mean,
like all the pressure's really on Rustin.
Rustin ain't got a trade as green, coach.
That's what I was about to say. You got the best player on the field.
No, and I mean,
and I know that one play that you can run that everybody knows coming.
and
but they
Brew
do have-
is he's gonna have them like ready to fight.
Yeah.
Like
but
he's gonna have them getting off the bus.
We're
like,
going all blacks.
They're gonna be barking at them
they probably will for sure.
as they come
They're
into
all
the
blacks
dome.
is-
And that's why I can't. And like I'd also like to watch this Rustin team play. Because if they put it together, I don't know. It matters who they
Did
play.
they lose in the dome last year?
I think they lost last year. They did.
I mean, my bro's on a mission, coach.
I would love to see you join.
oh my God,
Oh, no. It was like Dallas Carter.
rough film session for 66.
Yeah.
Coach.
Why don't you go
what
back to
team was that?
algebra?
I don't even.
I mean,
I had to be that last round game, so
Throw that back up
replay
there.
that.
Mandeville.
That's some Glenn
No.
Dorsey stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he just dog walked him.
I mean, sorry, buddy. You'll be a Sigma Chi next year somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Zach, you and the quarterback.
How is he not ready for this? Look at his pass set. Oh, you're playing
I mean, he's
football.
on
football.
roller skates.
Yeah.
Skating.
Oh, this guy's good.
The quarterback's like,
Oh. How in my lap?
Wow, look at
Look
91,
at 12.
Coach. Look at 9. I mean, look at that D line.
I mean, he didn't have one's coming.
he didn't
That
have-
was a disaster.
he
What was the
didn't
score to that football game?
He didn't send 28-7.
Yeah. We'll hold you to none.
Oh, dude, he killed that kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid probably is like, you know what? I'm done with football.
Rustin, I mean, they played one close game, and it was against Westgate. 20-18 and
Who
everything.
did they play this year? Like, did they play all the D? They play everybody?
On the way to the Dome?
Yeah, like
They played Westgate in the second round. They had to bye the first round.
yeah.
And then they played Walker, Mandeville, not in the state championship.
We'll see, man.
They beat the piss out of Walker. It's
We'll
not
see. Zachary and Rustin Saturday night, and that'll be the state titles for this weekend, which is a great weekend down in New Orleans. If you want to get down there and just check it out, I mean,
one of the best for sure.
It is. It's
like,
a cool weekend.
It's sneaky good. Like people don't really know about it. Like,
Jimmy
Yacht
Ott put me on the dome.
Yeah,
He
that
put me on the dome weekend.
I worked
like
the first year.
25 years ago.
Well, yeah, when it was 4 games.
Yeah,
Right.
I
see,
worked the first year. It was 84 games,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What's happening?" Nobody told me about this. They acted like it was a privilege. They're like, you want to go work the dome? We've only asked a couple of people. And I was like, "Hell yeah,
that should be fun."
Why not?
Yeah, it's like I went there. It was from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. I was like, I can't even look at I feel like I was at the casino.
Last time I
I
was
was like, "What time is it? Where
You have
are
no
we?"
idea what's going on
I might go
outside.
return a kick.
last time I was in the dome, I found my way to the suites.
Yes.
Oh, we could, yeah. You could go up like that's what you had. We had kind of like carte blanche, but that was you got to bide your time. It's like recess in jail. Like at some point, you got to go back inside and go to work.
Gotta
But
go to work, dog.
You had that badge. Trust me, I took my chances.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Badge.
I'm just in here to make sure the food's warm. 8 tenders, get out of there.
How is
Grab
your
a
food?
beer real quick.
No, you get like the Superdome treatment. It's
Yeah,
like all
it's
of
pretty
the
good.
yeah. But that was a long, long weekend.
Yeah, I haven't been since I think it was like 2017 or 20. Yeah, it was 2017.
It's a great weekend.
That's the
Oh,
last
we
time
used
I
to
went.
go and like when we were in junior high, we would had a group of dads that were like, "Let's go to." Obviously, they had different intentions of like, "Yeah, this is a chance."
Let's go watch football.
Go to the state championship.
You can't stay in the dome all day.
Hey, we're gonna go take a walk.
Right.
All right, fellas.
I was like, they're geniuses, but we would
That's
go.
a great play.
We would go almost. We went like 3 or 4 years in a row where it was. I saw Joe McKnight playing the dome.
Nice.
It really is an unbelievable. It's like
You get to see like
even if you
the
don't have a
who's-
dog in the fight, it's
Right.
like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
so talented.
You're gonna
man.
see the who's who of
college
Louisiana
what's gonna
football.
Be, yeah.
I mean, LSU will have their full staff there.
Smart play.
All
Matt House.
weekend. There'll probably be, we'll see. There'll probably be other schools that make their way through there. I mean, it's just a fantastic weekend of networking, football, and in the dome, and obviously watching some of the team's best players. Speaking of best players, yesterday it became official. Jayden Daniels has been named a Heisman Memorial Trophy finalist, as Jayden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, will be in New York City this Saturday night, joining other finalists, including Oregon quarterback Bo Nix, Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., and Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison. For whatever reason, Harrison's going to be there. This is the 89th Memorial Trophy that'll be announced Saturday night. It'll be at 7 o'clock Central Time. So Daniels, along with other finalists, are going to travel to New York City later this week, where the winner will be announced at the Apple Room at Jazz at Lincoln Center in Columbus Circle. I have made this trip a couple of years ago. I know that Jacques going to be here tomorrow, and Jacques, I believe, is taking off on Thursday to begin his coverage from up in New York City. And I can tell you, in traveling and covering, this job has allowed us to do some pretty cool stuff: national championships, playoffs, Final Fours, Super Bowls. The trip to the Heisman Trophy was, without question, the coolest experience from an assignment standpoint I have ever had. My former place where I worked sent a couple of us up there, and we got there on Thursday and really kind of followed Joey around for the next couple of days, and including went to a couple of LSU themed parties, some LSU alumni throwing parties in New York, and really kind of experiencing and taking in the city. And obviously it kind of all coming to a head Saturday night when Burrow won the award, and being at the Knickerbocker Hotel in Times Square, right off of Times Square, with the governor was there. I mean, it was almost a who's who of anyone that had anything to do with Louisiana politics. I mean, it was a Louisiana party in New York that week that Burrow won the Heisman Trophy. Obviously, Bunny Cannon was there, and I just ran into Bunny actually last week as we were both going to the LSU Virginia Tech women's game, and she was saying that she's going to be in New York, and she's going to be taking it all in once again. So not only will LSU be well represented for this year's team, and obviously the team around Jayden Daniels, but some ode to the past of Billy Cannon and people that have been there before will be taking this in as well. This is as cool of a trip and cool of a weekend that I can recall covering sports, and you can see for the invitees, for the players, this is as good as it gets, right? I didn't have a chance to go with Tyron when he was invited back in 2011. Going with Burrow and watching him win it was an incredible experience. And for Jayden Daniels to have his senior season capped off with a trip to New York, being a Heisman Trophy finalist, is just an incredible story. I think that Daniels really feels like the odds-on favorite for this thing going into it. Now, there is some things that make you feel a little uneasy just because, it's a voting scenario. You don't know how these things work out. People are really politicking for their people. The pendulum is kind of swung to Michael Penix out west. I think that they end up splitting their votes. I mean, Marvin Harrison stuff, and I don't want to become disrespectful to Harrison, because I think that Harrison is going to be
out there, Coach. Be careful.
A phenomenal pro, and that he's been a tremendous college football player. And really, I think it came down to the fact that he really just didn't have that elite of a quarterback, right? I mean, there was just not that elite playmaker under center for him to be that type of guy. But you saw when he had the ball, when he was in a match, you saw like he was clearly the best player on the field each and every week, and he's going to be a pro. But I mean, as far as these postseason awards go, you don't have to shower him with all this hardware because he looks the part.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really and truly, I mean, if that was the case, you could have given the Biletnikoff to Dwayne Bowe in 2006. I mean, his numbers weren't the best in the country, but he looked like he was going to be the best pro. He turned out to be a really good, solid pro. You know, I mean, like, what are we awarding this guy? I mean, the numbers are not even close to Neighbors.
And they're good.
Exactly.
They are good, but it's like,
this is again, like, this is
what
not.
What are we
this
looking
is
at?
not controversial to Marvin Harrison. Great year, solid year. Going to be a top 5 pick. Probably going to be the face of a franchise in 3 years, and one of the highest paid players at his position for the next decade plus. Go get it. Go get it. But in his award season of college football after 2023, he deserves a lot of attention. You know, like, Marvin Harrison's one of the best wide receivers in the country, inarguable. Marvin Harrison's one of the best players in the country. Can't debate it. Marvin Harrison, gonna be a really solid pro at the next level. Wouldn't push back on it. Marvin Harrison deserves a Biletnikoff. No, he doesn't. Marvin Harrison deserves the Heisman Trophy. No, he doesn't. No. I mean, look, his numbers don't say it. Does he have the capability to put up Malik Neighbors type numbers? Yeah, but Neighbors is playing with the best quarterback in the country. Harrison's quarterback just went into the transfer portal at Ohio State. Who the hell does that? You're the starting quarterback at Ohio State. It's one of the most coveted spots. You're the Yankees shortstop.
Can't get you drafted.
I mean, like, what do you mean you're leaving?
Play quarterback at Ohio State.
Exactly.
Like,
you're getting drafted, especially after the CJ Stroud.
Whatever you want. Whatever grade you want. Whatever club you want. Whatever girl you want. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's saying, you know what, I want to give that up.
Yeah.
Unless Ryan Day says, hey, man, you should probably look somewhere else.
I saw a report that they had a meeting, probably his exit meeting, and he told him, we're probably going to chop a quarterback. If you want to stay, you can
compete,
but you're going to have to compete.
And much more highlighting the point, Marvin Harrison didn't have a quarterback.
Yep.
So it's not his fault.
Well, that's
but you can't reward. You can't reward him
for having a bad quarterback.
Because he doesn't have a quarterback and he looks the part.
Well, I guess you can because he had 1,000 yards.
Those numbers with the bad quarterback.
That's fine, right. But with the best quarterback in the country, Malik Neighbors ran circles around the best, the other wide receivers.
Yeah, he is the better prospect.
And it's funny for I guess coming from an LSU show or YouTube show wherever you had Grant Delpit win the Thorpe Award whenever he wasn't the best player that year, becomes almost a word of what you've done over a body of work. And I think that's where Marvin Harrison is getting. He did it back-to-back years. He didn't get it last year, so you have to reward him for this. Is what this thing has turned into, which I don't think it should be.
Dumb.
It is.
Like, the Thorpe Award winner could have been Derek Stingley his freshman year.
Okay, so if we're making if we are making pro comparisons.
And
Marvin Harrison, as a freshman at Ohio State, only had 139 receiving yards.
I mean, he was playing with
Malik Neighbors.
That was Olave, Wilson.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, Malik was playing with Kayshawn and who was I was thinking Terrace Marshall was on the 2021 team, but he was not. But still, he was playing with Kayshawn. Kayshawn was a projected first-round pick before Jere Jenkins. Like, he had a bunch of vets in front of him. Jack Besh.
Yeah.
Trey Palmer was still here. Like, he had some people in front of him, and he got hurt his freshman year. He still had more yards than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, and if you want to compare if you want to go game for game, like for Marvin Harrison, what he did his sophomore season, I think he deserves it. What Malik did this year is better than what Marvin Harrison did last year. And that was one of the best wide receiving seasons of all time, because that's what put him on the map. And then,
he
obviously,
put up 14 tutties.
But Malik had a better year his junior year than Marvin's sophomore year. But if you want to go back-to-back, sure, I guess, if that's how y'all want to do it. But him being invited to the Heisman ceremony certainly feels like he's going to win the Biletnikoff.
It does. It feels like they're setting him up to give him something. And if they rob Malik of the Biletnikoff after the season he had, it will be shameful. It really will. I mean,
and it's something that he would care about.
Marvin Harrison needs to be on every first-team All-American list. Marvin Harrison needs to be recognized as one of the best wide receivers in college football. But when it comes to 2023, Malik Neighbors is the best wide receiver in the game. The games tell you that, And the numbers tell you that.
Coach, the fan vote is 84% Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, maybe we're overthinking it.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Maybe
has
the invite is the
9.4%.
coup.
And as for Jayden Daniels, I just think when the votes are probably in now. You know what I mean? Like the ballots are usually filled out by now. But Daniels has done some things here that, when you look at his accomplishments on paper, where, things like Daniels joined Johnny Manziel's the only player in the SEC history, in the history of the league, to rush for 1,000 yards and pass for 3,500 in a season. Daniels is the only player in FBS history with 12,000 career passing yards and 3,000 career rushing yards. I mean, those two stats alone, I would say, okay. I mean, like, not only did he have the best season, something that has historically never been done other than one time, which was a freak year with what Manziel did. I mean, with what Johnny Manziel did. And now it's happening for only the second time. First time it happened, we gave the guy the Heisman. Not only is this guy mirroring what Manziel did during his run, but he also, Daniels, for his career, is the only guy to leave his eligibility with 12,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards. That needs to be rewarded alone. Take the stat off of what he accomplished this year, the career stat. You need to say, hey, man, for what you've given college football, here you go. Here's the best. Here's the award that goes to the best player in the game. You have been that start to finish. For what he has brought college football this season, he deserves that award. And you dig in a little bit more and look at what his career accomplishments are, shower this guy. I mean, really, on the way out, for what he's given the game, for what he's given Saturdays, for what he's given us as fans watching, all you can ask for as a ticket buyer, all you can ask for from these guys, from your athletes, from ladies, guys that you buy tickets to go watch, is that they go hard. They give you everything they got. Right? I mean, they're not going out there saying, I want to make SportsCenter, I want to make these highlights. They're just playing hard and good stuff happens. And for you to buy your ticket every single week, show up, and Daniels give you the type of performance where he leaves his senior year historically relevant in a season and in his overall stats, you got to reward that, man. Like, you got to say thank you to Daniels for what he's given the game by simply giving him the biggest piece of hardware that the game has to offer. And the debate, the going back and forth, I get that's what we do in this space. That's what other people do around the country in this space, is go back and forth. But the closer it gets, the more secure I feel that people have recognized, all right, man, I mean, this guy is like historically great.
It's not even a question.
I mean, really and truly, the further we get away from it, even watching those games this weekend, it pissed me off to a degree of watching Alabama and Georgia, thinking that LSU's got a chance to be here with the best player in the country, the best offense in the country, and both these teams can't stop them.
And it showed.
I mean, you put Georgia and LSU on that track in Atlanta, in that dome, with that offense, that defense I was watching chasing Milroe around,
Ooh.
they couldn't guard Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors.
They would have been
They
struggling.
couldn't stop Jayden Daniels.
Coach, I was watching number 6 from Georgia. He was in hell in a cell with Jermaine Burton.
I mean,
so just think about what Malik would have been.
Oh, my God. He might still
Jalen
be
Milroe
there.
had him running in circles, man.
Coach, running in circles.
I mean, I'm sitting there looking, I mean, little Jay's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm
a little
I
mad.
can't believe
and Georgia,
that LSU is a 3-loss team in this year. only because they couldn't stop a soul. They couldn't stop anybody. And all you had to do was field an average defense. Below average defense, you win.
Get a stop. That's all
They
you
had a
gotta
below
do.
average defense.
No, not that far below.
You can't be that below.
You can't be that
You can't
bad.
suck.
Yeah.
But you can
You
be.
have to pass the class.
You can be bad. With an offense like this, the margin for error, I mean, like,
Was
you got an enormous gulf
Coach, this is
between you.
This is like summer school make a C type of thing.
Yes.
It's like the defense. Like summer school just make a C past the class.
We got your tutor over here that's helping you a lot.
We have an A+ student that's helping you.
Uh-huh.
But just make a fucking
Just
C.
show up.
Just show
Just
up.
come to class. Like, I mean, roll out. You don't have to brush your teeth, man.
Just do your
I mean,
homework.
just show up to class.
It's art.
Pay attention.
Draw a picture.
Draw
you
stick
got
people.
the best player in the country
The best
with the
receiver
best
in the country.
wide receivers.
Best offensive line in the country.
Plural. In the country.
Two
with
of the best tackles.
offensive line possibly in the country.
Best assistant coach in the
and you
country.
got a threat at running back.
It's bad then, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of there too. It's that's why I was upset that the season was over. Like after the A&M game, it was because that was your last chance to see something special with Jayden Daniels playing quarterback, and it just feels like kind of a missed
And I'm
opportunity.
telling you, the further you get away from it, this is Saturday. I mean, LSU had played the previous week. Think 2 years from now when the offense, it could, like, Bryce Underwood, Harlan Berry, DK Moore, all these cats, they could come in here and set the world on fire. And hopefully they do.
Sheldon
Because
Sampson will be a junior.
For the hell that LSU sat in for a decade plus watching football, I don't think by any means anybody's deserved it. You would just think the college football karmaic, like the karma of it, would be like, here you go. But I'm not trying to sacrifice the defense.
Yeah. At some point, you got to think like they'll line up, like because LSU has had elite defenses and didn't have elite offense. Had below average offense. LSU has obviously had elite offense and below average defense the last few times. Even 2019, they had more talent to where it was like.
And yeah, that was a figure it out moment for Dave Aranda. Like, oh, y'all are going fast.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even drop anything on the whiteboard. Y'all scored so quickly.
I'm just trying to draw up a little stunt real quick, but Jam just scored. I got it. Come on, boys. Let's get back out there.
In 2019, I never felt like I did at any point this year. Where it's like this deep. Like,
they're not going to get a stop.
They're not good.
Ole Miss game.
Ole Miss. That was the only
Rice
time.
told me it's the only time I was like, they don't know what to do.
But that game was already over.
But he had him scheme.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was like,
look at him go.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, okay, he's gonna score.
They're not gonna lose.
Then Joe's gonna come back out here and score again.
Mo Hampton.
Yeah.
Gave you an opportunity to see other players, but it really and truly, the 2019 defense would be the great example of that's really kind of all you need to be.
That's all you need.
You just need to specialize in something. That team could create turnovers. They got off the field on third down.
They were really good on third down.
They did some good things in areas where, they were really exposed in others. It was just – but when you had an offense like that, your margin for error is enormous. It's like, hey, man, okay, you can allow 21, 28.
Help is on the way,
it's okay. You'd rather not, but it'll bail you out. You get us a couple of picks, you take the ball away a couple of times, it's over.
That's what they
did. Game's over.
I think if LSU could finish this recruiting class off with Gabe Rutherford and a couple more from the portal, I think the defense will get to that point.
I agree.
Because I'm watching Gabe Rutherford's tape.
They can't be that fun.
Oh my God, this kid is good.
Gabe Rutherford?
Yes,
this
kid is
he's a game record.
Fucking stud, and he plays with a high motor. I just watched kid broke a run and he's running them down from defensive line.
No, he's a game record.
Need that.
He's probably a defensive end.
Yeah, he's more of an end than a tackle.
But still, you got to get those guys.
Yeah,
you got to get those guys from Louisiana,
especially the way he plays.
I'm not giving up on Wardell Mack. They need to make some moves to get in front of him.
Can I call Wardell Mack?
Sure.
I'll make
somebody's
my pitch.
got to reach out to him.
I got to imagine he's gonna be in the Dome this weekend.
I'll make my pitch. Hey, look, Wardell. Bro, it's playing time all over.
I watched him
here.
play Catholic High earlier in the playoffs.
Does he play safety? Is he a safety?
They had him playing more offense that night.
Yeah, he played a lot of offense for them.
But I'm sitting there watching him play, and I'm like, LSU's got to get this kid. I mean, like, how does LSU miss on this kid? Like,
Twice.
This is DB. That is DBU.
Like, you put him with Bernard Causey.
The guy playing wide receiver
Wallace Foster.
at 5A, making plays, who's also the best DB on the field. Like, it should not even be up for discussion.
Like, you got to have that.
Well, the NIL. Pay him then. Pay him. I mean, what does it take?
Obviously, A&M ain't paying him.
I think their structure's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though you did see Evan Stewart go on social media yesterday and say, "Old sliced bread didn't pay me a dime." I don't know what all this narrative is.
Evan Stewart was in that class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in that class.
He was like the crown jewel of that class. Him and Walter Nolan.
Big Walt.
What, Walter Nolan's in the wind?
Yeah, I get it.
What, Tennessee?
Here in Alabama.
Oh.
The Tide.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
That is fucking...
I mean, I heard Alabama
You think
for
I
Evan
care,
Stewart.
Paul? No, I don't at all.
Paul, would you let me finish?
Hold on, Paul. Let me finish.
I just don't believe you. Well, believe this.
I put Spike D80.
He goes, well, I don't believe you. He goes, that's fine.
That's fine.
You don't want to believe it, I just...
Are they dead? They about to be.
You think I care?
You think I care?
Roll damn Tide.
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't even go to Bama. Didn't even live in the state.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
Yeah.
it was probably his affinity for the Bear from
Yeah,
A&M.
For sure.
Evan Stewart was the third-rated recruit in that class.
Well,
Walter Nolan was the number one. Shamar Stewart was number two.
Yeah.
Jacoby Matthews 4.
Jacoby Matthews actually was like 7.
Yeah.
Denver Harris was higher on the list. 5
Who?
star.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still alive.
He's here.
No doubt he's still around.
Going to class.
He's still around.
He's finals week, coach.
He took like a leap year.
Speaking of defensive backs from Texas A&M in the transfer portal, another one yesterday. Baton Rouge native, Texas A&M safety Jordan Gilbert announced he was entering the transfer portal. Gilbert, a University High grad out of Baton Rouge, was a 4-star safety coming out of U High and Coach Andy Martin's program. Spent the last 2 years at A&M and now hitting the transfer portal with 2 years of eligibility remaining here. So we'll wait and see what happens with Jordan Gilbert.
Pass him back, Axe.
The Texas A&M safety entering the transfer portal. Walter Nolan, another big name as far as the portal was concerned. 500 names hit the portal on the first day, which was a record for the transfer portal. A lot of quarterbacks, obviously, but guys like Walter Nolan, and something's going on at Ohio State.
Yep.
I mean, like
They got like starting DBs getting in the portal.
yesterday, a big-time wide receiver
Julian Fleming, 5-star.
went into the portal. I mean, they're like
They don't have a quarterback. That's what I mean. I would think that was, and then a bunch of their
I would
players
think
are.
that you can't make a move like that. Like they told, his name slipped in my mind. What's the quarterback's name?
Oh, Kyle McCord.
They had to tell McCord.
Get.
Oh no,
like-
he told him he told him to go and get a quarterback, and if you don't like it, you could leave, but we want you to stay. Like they told him they wanted him to stay. So
Asked specifically whether Ohio State would pursue a transfer quarterback before it became, in parentheses, before it became known that McCord entered the portal. Day said he did not want to discuss which specific positions the Buckeyes would target in the portal, but indicated that Ohio State would evaluate the available talent at all positions to identify potential roster fits. Yeah, Kyle, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Right.
see ya.
Know
dog.
ya.
Yeah. Take this clipboard, Kyle,
Yeah,
and get used to writing with this.
actually, you can just go to Washington State. We're just going to do a trade.
We're going to need you tracking plays for us, if you don't mind, for the next couple of years. Yeah.
Because they're getting, I mean, was it Cam Ward? That's the highest name in the portal.
That's the big dog.
And it feels like that Ohio State, that's what they were lacking. It was maybe him. Tua's brother will probably hit the portal.
Talia.
Talia, all-time leading passer in the ACC.
Which is nuts.
But nuts.
Wait,
That's nuts,
what?
man. Yes.
Huh? What about Jameis? What about like? Damn,
We strong then.
I said you strong.
If you strong, I'm strong. We strong,
You
then.
then. Jameis should be the quarterback.
Undefeated. National champs at Florida State. How's that sound? Let's go do it.
Bro, his halftime speeches are like His whole college career was
Jimbo was over there just going.
rapping Ludacris
to Derek Carr.
at the Atlanta game to Derek Carr last weekend is
Jameis Winston.
the all-timer.
That's the Jameis
of
experience.
Jameis Winston. I mean, like the eating the W's, the pregame circle ups, all of it. That was
The getting dressed at Florida State when you're suspended.
Oh, that's an all-timer.
That's one of
that
one.
Could be all.
Jimbo.
That could be a one.
Jimbo's face when he comes out the tunnel. He's like,
Jamie, we just talked about that. I just want to be part of the team, Coach.
What are you
Coach,
doing?
I just want to take up snaps.
What are you
I
doing?
mean, I'm just going through my routine.
What are you doing?
And the fact
To his routine, he ain't even
he
playing.
ain't playing. The fact that he's rapping "Move, bitch, get out the way"
It's unreal.
to Carr is unbelievable.
It's unreal.
Like I'm literally, I'm telling you,
I'm telling you to get out the way.
Dennis, play this man for God's sake.
his first pass, whenever he came in for the Saints last week, just gets tipped 13 times and a completion,
Touchdown.
moving down the field.
I love it.
First down.
He was open.
He was, but he wasn't.
Y'all don't see what I see. James, you can't see.
Remember our friends over at Go Roof, GEAUXroof.com. Get in touch with Go Roof today. Online, like we said, at GEAUXroof.com or call them at 225-927-8300. 225-927-8300. Competitive pricing. Residential roofing, commercial roofing, and roofing repairs. Ran into Tommy over the weekend. Wanted me to remind you with the weather coming through that they will be up on a roof today if you need them to be. 225-927-8300 or online at GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof every single day. A beautiful roof every single time. 225-927-8300. Roof's up with our friends over at Go Roof. Hit them up today. Competitive pricing, free quotes, and free roof inspections, whether it's roof repair, roof installation, or roof maintenance on your commercial roof, your residential roof, or you just need roofing repairs on any of them. You can get in touch with Go Roof, GEAUXroof.com. Hour 2 next here from Click Here Digital as we'll be live. We'll talk to Wilson Alexander. Wilson will stop through. We'll get the latest here. Brian Kelly going to speak to the media today post-practice. I'd imagine that there'll be some pressing questions. We'll ask Wilson what's going on.
Practice.
That's what the email said.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Post-practice presser for Brian Kelly.
Do you think this is the most excited Garrett Nussmeier's been in a minute?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, he's finally he's gonna be the guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be first team reps. Seat at the table.
First team reps. Brian Kelly media session Tuesday. Head coach Brian Kelly will meet with members of the media tomorrow. 9 a.m.
Right after the show, we'll lead you into it.
I'm sorry.
You should walk in late.
In the team room, yeah, that would
That
play,
would go-
that
that would
would
play.
play well.
That would play great.
You're late. Why didn't you win?
I'd have been on time if you were in the Natty.
You're right.
Playoff presser.
The ReliaQuest Bowl.
All right, hour 2 next. Come back with us.
Like I'm dropping the Carter.
Ryan
Coming
Bates,
back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah. Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, or a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, roof, go roof.
Hey, Greg, the roof up?
Roof's up. Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Well, the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
I'm Tom Granick with Go Martin, Wardo's Po' Boys in Natchez, Mississippi. On behalf of the Granick family, we invite you to run, walk, or stroll in the second annual Rudolph Roll. Held on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, this holiday event will kick off at 8 a.m. on December 9th and will include a 10K, 5K, and 1 mile kids fun run. Along with the race, there will be live music, drinks, and of course, Po' Boys. We're looking forward to an even bigger party this year. For more information, please check out the link on Wardo's Facebook page or scan the QR code. Hope to see y'all there.
Again, this year, we're giving away bikes all across the state of Louisiana. In fact, this year is a record number. We're giving away 488 bikes. Go to GordonGives.com for more information and details. And look, it's not just me. It's everybody at our company across the state of Louisiana. At Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we're all participating in this process, and we're so excited to be giving away a little cheer, Christmas spirit, and everything else this time of year. So God bless. Go to GordonGives.com for more details. Merry Christmas, Louisiana.
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McKernan?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life. Hi, I'm Gordon McKernan. Everyone has a special Christmas memory. One of mine is when I woke up on Christmas morning, ran down the stairs, and there it was, a brand new red bicycle.
That is why this Christmas, Gordon McKernan is giving away over 425 bicycles throughout the state of Louisiana.
To register, please fill out a form online at GordonGives.com or GetGordon.com. And make sure to visit the Get Gordon Facebook page for additional details and chances to win. From all of us here at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, Merry Christmas and God bless.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it.
All right, welcome back here, Tuesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. We're going to talk to Wilson Alexander coming up here in about 10 minutes. Shout out to Wilson and the crew over at NOLA.com and The Advocate. We'll get the latest with LSU football as we will hear from Brian Kelly this morning as Kelly going to talk to the media here at 9 a.m. We'll see if he has any news about what could be coming up here in the future. Obviously, a huge time of the calendar in college football with transfer portal opening up yesterday. As we said, 500 names entered the portal yesterday, a record on opening day of the portal. Some big-time names. We mentioned Walter Nolan, but some big quarterbacks out there. Will Howard, the quarterback over at Kansas State, is in the portal. Ohio State had their quarterback enter the transfer portal, so we'll continue to watch names. Trey Bradford, LaTerrence Welsh, and Armani Goodwin, the three players at LSU that are entering the portal as of now, that have entered the
Bryce Langston
portal. And Bryce Langston, that's right. As up to this
DJ
point.
Ugalele is back out there.
Is he really?
Yeah, back in the portal.
So what?
Ugalele.
Oregon State fired their coach?
I think he could be a grad transfer.
Oregon State's coach is leaving and going to.
Because that's the
he's leaving though.
There's some stipulations on the portal.
Mm-hmm.
That you got to make sure and keep within the confines of. You're only allowed to transfer one time from the school that you choose ultimately out of high school. So once you sign your letter of intent, you end up on campus with with a school. You're allowed one transfer. Now, if the coach is fired or the coach leaves, you can transfer again without penalty. You don't have to sit. But after that, if you're a graduate and you graduate, you will be free to transfer and play immediately. But you're only allowed to play after one transfer, as the rule states, outside of a couple of circumstances that barring your coach doesn't get fired or something like that. So we appreciate you being here. Hour 2, of course. Daily, of course, we're brought to you by our friends over at RMB. We're also brought to you by Pierce Bespoke, the mobile tailor service headquartered right here in Baton Rouge. So if you're looking to get caught up on a new attire, whether it's sport coat, work fit, casual fit, if you need a tailor-made suit, you can get that from our friends over at Pierce Bespoke. Get in touch with Grayson Augustus and his team at piercebespoke.com. All right, as we said, we'll talk to Wilson Alexander coming up here in a couple of minutes. We were talking about Jayden Daniels getting the invite to the Heisman Trophy Award in hour number 1. Daniels will be up there this weekend. He'll be flanked by a couple of quarterbacks in Bo Nix and Michael Penix. He'll also be joined by Marvin Harrison Jr., who will be up there as well. Both Harrison and LSU's Malik Neighbors are finalists for the Biletnikoff Award. That's Friday night it gets announced?
Friday night.
Friday.
College football award show.
Will Joe Burrow be there for the Heisman? I mean, he's out for the year.
Heisman House.
He's not in the
part of the
Heisman
Heisman
House.
House. Because he's got to deal with a car company. And the Heisman House is sponsored by Nissan.
Wait. Saw a Tiger Droppings thread.
Oh, let's go.
And somebody was like, why doesn't Joe Burrow live in the Heisman House?
Yeah. Do you think that hurts LSU's chances at winning a Heisman because Burrow won't go to the Heisman House?
Wait.
That's literally what the thread was.
Yeah.
Like the animosity between Burrow and the Heisman House. Well, how will it affect Jayden Daniels' chances to win the award?
Oh, man.
Like, people are
bored. Bored.
How much tinfoil can you have?
Burrow's not on those Heisman Trophy commercials because he has a deal with an electric car company, and obviously it's a conflict of interest. being that the Heisman House is sponsored by Nissan. So that's why you don't see Burrow in a lot of those commercials. But we will talk to Wilson coming up here in a couple of minutes. Gabe Relaford going to make his announcement on Friday where he's going next, as Relaford has been a huge name on LSU's wish list as far as defensive players in the state. I think Relaford, and this is not trying to sound sour on Dominic McKinley, but I think throughout the last 8 months, there's been a shift in the feeling on who the top defensive lineman in the state is when you're talking about McKinley and Relaford. It felt like Relaford kind of wrestled that away from McKinley going into their senior season, and then once their senior season hit, it seemed like Relaford was start to finish the better prospect. By no means am I saying that Dominic McKinley is not a big-time player. McKinley has been recognized, and rightfully so, as one of the state's top players, and within this recruiting cycle, without question, definitely fits that mold. But if you could get at least one of these two guys, right? Obviously, in a perfect world, you would love to hit on all the top prospects in the state, and McKinley would be in that mix. But if you could at least get one of these two top defensive linemen, that may be able to salvage a little bit of this defensive class when you're talking about this cycle right here in 2024. So, Relaford is a guy that growing up was LSU was his dream school. He's been pretty out loud, talking about that. He has not shied away from that at all. And he's someone who has, really was upset or, taken back that LSU took so long to offer, which I think is, kind of a story in itself. With guys like Relaford, you want to make sure and stay out in front with these guys, especially moving down, into the future, for as much as they mean to the state and as much as they mean to building the roster. You got to make sure and be out in front of the offers at the very least on guys like Relaford, where you've got a chance to evaluate. And there's committable and there's non-committable offers that exist, but at least have something in front of him to let him know that he means something. Because obviously that's what LSU has been trying to recruit against. When you're talking about even kind of like internally, what's been the message is, it's kind of like you kind of apologize and you didn't recognize earlier that he was a fit for LSU. So hopefully they can save that with Relaford on Friday. As we said earlier, it'll be between LSU and USC for Gabe Relaford coming up on Friday morning to see where the 4-star defensive lineman out of Evangel is going to ultimately land. So that's a big week for LSU, not only watching the transfer portal, but obviously watching the high school waiver wire as well.
Should we?
What is it?
The Bengal Tiger thread. It's everywhere. LSU, should we boycott Raising Cane's?
Why?
Because we don't have enough NIL money. He's not contributing enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, don't give him any more money. Then that'll work. Now he definitely was not going to help.
Cut the spigot completely off.
Yeah.
This shit is so funny. I've never boycotted Raising Cane's, but it's so funny.
What's the other one?
Oh, Joe Burrow not living in the house.
No, the other chicken place that does also chicken fingers.
Oh, Zaxby's,
yeah. Where's he? Is he helping some school? Boycott Zaxby's. I'm not eating chicken no more.
I don't want none of that fried
not
chicken.
Not till we get Shamar Stewart on campus. Todd catching us straight for no reason.
Complaining about, I've heard that they want Graves to buy the Saints. Now they want him to save LSU.
Can't do both.
But do you think that you'll get anything from Brad? He did say 7 to 10 days he's going to make an announcement about changes on the staff. It's been 7 to 10 days, and this is the first time he's speaking publicly since the A&M game.
I think so. I'm anxious to see what Wilson says about. Wilson's got a much more, he's got a much more check of the temperature on this stuff than I do. He's around it every day and really has a good relationship with Kelly and understand kind of how he ticks. So, I'm anxious to see what Wilson is expecting from this morning's presser with Kelly meeting with the press just to see, ultimately if he anticipates hearing any changes coming up. So let's do that. We'll reset when we come back. We'll talk to Wilson Alexander. Of course, Wilson from NOLA.com and The Advocate will be with us here on the Jordy Culotta Show Daily, brought to you by Click Here Digital, online at clickheredigital.com. Of course, you can set your digital marketing strategy with us over here, Google ads, social media ads. If you need help with an SEO, website, all of it, creative content, we can help you there as well. Email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com or online, clickheredigital.com. We'll be back with Wilson Alexander next.
Going to get Canes.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on. Did you do it? Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com. All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Wednesday morning, presented by our friends over at A-Bears Specialty Meats. Remember, A-Bears in Gonzales and in Prairieville. Great gift ideas for Christmas. For every $100 you spend on gift cards, they'll give you a $25 gift card for free. Check out A-Bears on Highland Road in Robert's Grocery Store. Pick up your turduckens, your turkeys for all of your holiday specials. All right, Wilson Alexander is covering the LSU football team, NOLA.com, and The Advocate. As always, he's with us here every Tuesday. Brian Kelly going to meet with the press here in about 40 minutes. Anxious to hear what Coach Kelly has to say. Wilson, I wonder what you anticipate. Is there anything that you anticipate hearing this morning other than an update here from the LSU head football coach?
I mean, I hope that we get something a little bit more definitive about what he may do with the defensive staff, or Matt House in particular. Certainly intend to ask him about it, and maybe we can get some insight into his plans. When he talked about that evaluation process, it was all 7 to 10 days from like about the end of the regular season, that last Monday, and we're right about that. And so maybe we can get something a little bit more definitive. If not, then it'll probably be some talk about Wisconsin and Jayden Daniels being a Heisman finalist officially. But that would be the place where we can maybe get some real answers, and maybe we can also get some real answers about some approach to the transfer portal.
What is it like covering the portal? I mean, I'm looking at 500 names that enter yesterday. LSU's got a couple of guys, including LaTerrence Welsh and Trey Bradford are in there amongst some other guys. How are you watching this? What are you looking out for as far as the coverage on this?
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking out for who's entering and who is entering from other schools who LSU may have an interest in, and trying to kind of gauge that in particular, because that's what's going to be really influential for next year's team. When you're looking at guys, entering, especially, maybe like a Jair Brown, Will Shepard, the receiver from North Texas, Macklin, other guys like that, when they're entering, and they're maybe trying to find out if LSU has interest in these guys, if they're maybe going to target some of them. Just that kind of thing. It's very typical in college football these days, of course, and it'll be like that for the next 30 days. But even not really until then, just because, all you have to do is get in the portal, of course, but the next 30 days, because then after that, then guys can continue to commit as long as they're in.
Wilson, are you keeping up with recruiting during this time? If so, the Gabe Relaford story. Relaford was in last weekend. He decommits to Texas A&M. Shortly after that, he takes a trip to USC, and then on Friday he'll decide between Southern California and LSU. What are you hearing on the defensive tackle out of Evangel?
Certainly a lot of momentum in LSU's favor, which is great, because they need defensive linemen in a bad way, especially in this class. And if you can get someone like Gabe Relaford, and pair him with someone like Sean Washington, the JUCO defensive lineman who they brought in, and some of the other folks who they've got, then you start to build up a defensive line room that's a little bit more encouraging long term, and he would be a big pickup for them. 4-star guy. Certainly being able to bring him on campus last week was huge, and if they can end up finishing off that flip, then that'll be awesome for this class. Maybe aren't going to get Dominic McKinley. There doesn't seem to be any buzz about that. But if you can at least get Gabe Relaford, then that is certainly a good thing still in this class, to be able to get a defensive lineman, which they desperately need to do. And that's probably one of the main positions of need, because it's just so vital. On the defensive interior, you got to be able to have size, clog up those holes, create some pressure and havoc as well. And we saw LSU didn't get as much out of its defensive tackles as it probably really needed to this season. But it needs to make sure that, because they're kind of veteran guys that are there right now, they need to be able to backfill. And so Gabe Relaford's a huge piece of that.
Some positions that came available, obviously, that or at least look pretty inviting in the transfer portal, and have some guys that make sense for LSU going on past of how they've recruited. Guys with Louisiana ties have become available. A couple of names here, Wilson, anything that you're hearing on him. Jordan Gilbert, a safety out of Baton Rouge who went to University High. He's transferring from Texas A&M. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. And then Will Shepard, who is a South Louisiana kid who I believe went to Mandeville and spent the last 2 years at Vanderbilt, over 2,000 yards. LSU obviously in the market for a veteran wide receiver. Possible fit, any communication, any updates on those types of players?
Yeah, like you said, just because the fact that they're both Louisiana guys, you would think that LSU has interest in them right off the bat because they're especially, they're at positions of need. They would make a lot of sense for LSU. Both of them would. You start with Gilbert, and that's somebody who didn't play much this year. I think he had a shoulder injury, but he started 10 games in 2022, and that's at safety where LSU needs to get some safeties in. Regardless of what happens with Major Burns and his decision, it would be a tough spot going into next season if you don't bring in a transfer because you just got a lot of inexperience back there. And that's a tough way to live, as we saw this year at times in the defensive backfield. And so, that would be a massive pickup if else you can get him. Same thing with Will Shepherd, because, like you said, I think they probably just need the one veteran transfer receiver just to kind of balance out the experience in that room, because you don't necessarily want to block all the playing time for those young guys, but they need to maybe have someone above them who's played a little bit more football. And Will Shepherd would make a ton of sense because he's a Mandeville guy and because he's played in the SEC. And so, he's probably going to have a lot of suitors as somebody who, has done what he has over the last couple seasons. But that would be definitely somebody to keep an eye on with this LSU team and see if maybe they can reel him in. And same thing with Gilbert.
Wilson, will you be making the trip to New York?
Yes, I will. Leave Thursday.
What's that mean for LSU, having another player in this setting, in this presence for this award? How does LSU use this to its advantage? I mean, it was unbelievable that Burrow was there. Now to be back in just this short amount of time is kind of crazy in itself.
And it does so much for what they want to do in terms of recruiting quarterbacks, like what Joe Sloan can pitch to people and Mike Denbrock and Brian Kelly, what they can pitch to these quarterbacks. I mean, you think about how Bryce Underwood is committing on January 6th and, the number one player and quarterback in that 2025 class. Well, they can say, look what we just did with Jayden Daniels. And that could be you. And they can continue to do that because now you've got, most likely 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks in the last 5 years. And think about where LSU's quarterback position was. I know I'm not, telling anybody anything new here, but there was quarterback purgatory for years. And now you've got these 2 guys who are Heisman Trophy winners, 2 of the best players in LSU history who have come through here. LSU's really gotten worked out with those 2 in the transfer market. And now you're looking at some ways that in terms of what you can do, long-term with these is just a massive recruiting tool. And it creates so much good publicity for this program, especially, coming off of a 9-3 season. There's still something very big to be able to hang your hat on in terms of, especially at the quarterback position, what they can do with individual development, because you saw how much in particular Jayden improved from last season to this season. That's all just good things that this staff can use to sell.
Wilson, should I read into Marvin Harrison being invited to New York that he's going to win the Biletnikoff?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, if he were, maybe I guess it could be different, but if there's that kind of, there's 870 media members who vote on the Heisman, plus the old, all the still living Heisman winners plus 1 fan vote. And it's kind of a similar pool who's voting on the Biletnikoff, I think. And so, maybe not the same number of people, but, it's probably going to end up being Marvin Harrison. It felt like it was probably going to be that way for, I guess, a little bit, just because of what he has accomplished in his career. Maybe it ends up kind of being like a career achievement award for him. And he's a great receiver, not to take away from him, but it does sting for Malik that he probably isn't going to win that. Maybe we'll see something different happen. And if so, then great for Malik, because he certainly deserves it or is worthy of it, right up there with Harrison.
Would you think Simpson have a Heisman vote?
Yes.
He does?
Yes. What did you think of the draw to the Relia Quest Bowl to face off against Wisconsin? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of lackluster. I mean, to think that LSU is going to end this out with a 7-5 unranked team, but I got the sense LSU had no interest in playing in the Citrus Bowl, and that the Citrus Bowl wasn't really crazy about maybe bringing LSU back. The Citrus Bowl gets a pick their team there, and so obviously they went with Tennessee. Bringing LSU back for the second year in a row, when LSU's already been in the Orlando area like 3 times in the last 2 seasons, because he played at Florida and then obviously the 2 games there in Orlando. That would have been it would have been tough to probably get fans there from LSU's side, especially if you didn't have an interesting team on the other side, with Notre Dame not becoming the team there because of the way that things just sort of the domino effect of what happened with the CFP and the New Year's Six game. So it is not, so I think that's kind of why LSU ended up in the ReliaQuest. And, kind of interesting and weird that they're playing a 7-5 team in that game, but that's just kind of the way the Big Ten shakes out. And so, LSU should be favored, but Wisconsin's got a pretty stingy defense. And if Jayden doesn't play, then that'll be kind of the most interesting thing, I think, is how Garrett Nussmeier does against that unit. But we'll kind of see, how opt-outs go over the next few weeks here in terms of who LSU and Wisconsin will have available, because Wisconsin doesn't have its star running back either. And so it's hard to see them having the firepower to keep up with LSU.
Yeah, I agree. And, do you expect to see Malik for a couple of plays to get that record? I do. I think that, I think he's so close to something that is so historic that, what's a series or two? But he's a projected top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, but I could definitely see like what you're saying, where maybe they get that record and then he waves to everybody. He does the little heart that he loves to do, and then he heads on out. And I wouldn't fault him one bit if that was the only reason that he played in the game, was to get to 22 yards and then ended up. I mean, and it would also be. I fully expected to do that. I mean, we can only go at this point based on what he was so impassioned with what he was saying after that regular season finale, how badly he wanted to play in the bowl game. He was like, yeah, I guess I'll have to think about it, but like, I really want this record. Like, he was pretty darn adamant about it. And so maybe he ends up changing his mind. And if he does, wouldn't fault him one bit. Like, you've got an NFL career ahead of you. You're going to be a top 10 pick. Like, don't risk that. But, get a couple catches, break that record, and then, spend the rest of the game cheering on your teammates. That's fine too. Or, Malik, man, he likes to play football now, and he might end up just playing the whole game too.
Yeah. Wilson, it'd be an upset if Jayden Daniels doesn't win the Heisman at this point, right?
Oh, huge upset. Yeah. The odds are, gosh, he's minus 1,400. It was incredible watching that on Friday, where he kind of pulls ahead of Bo Nix. Like, Bo Nix is falling back, and like watching the odds was like watching election returns or something like that. And then Jayden just shoots forward. That was pretty sweet. And so now I'll be stunned if on Saturday he's not the one lifting that trophy.
All right, make sure you're following Wilson Alexander for a couple of reasons. He'll be in New York. He's leaving Thursday. He'll be covering the Heisman Memorial Trophy as that will be awarded on Saturday night, as he just said. Brian Kelly coming up with the media here in less than 30 minutes, who will begin at 9 a.m. Coach Kelly always on time, so that should be pretty succinct at 9 a.m. You want to follow Wilson for what the latest is on the tidbits coming out of Coach Kelly's presser, and that is at WH_Alexander_, and he's with us every Tuesday. Appreciate it, buddy. Safe travels. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
All right, there he is, Wilson Alexander checking in from NOLA.com and The Advocate. Make sure you're following him on social media, as Coach Kelly will be speaking here in about 30 minutes.
What do you think he says?
I think he's got some updates.
He has to have something.
I think he's got something. I really do. I think that
he's a very calculated guy.
He is. And as Wilson said, this is in that 7 to 10 day window.
Past it.
That he referenced.
Who do you think is the first? Who do you think asked the question?
Wilson.
Wilson.
You think Wilson gets
Jacques?
Wilson or Jacques?
Mm-hmm. Scott Rabelais?
Cobble.
Yeah, Cobble for sure. Cobble definitely will ask.
Oh yeah,
Cobble always starts his question with some little like self-deprecating remark.
Brian,
I guess I'll go first.
So nobody wants it.
Bonet's just in the corner,
like rolling his eyes. Cobble.
Ron Higgins, this is your time to shine.
You think so, Ron?
You think so, Ron? Yeah, Ron. You think so, Ron? I'm just asking.
Was Ron the one that asked the week after the Bama game if Florida spied Jayden Daniels? Opening question. Kelly's walks up. He's like, look at Jay's quarterback. He's just played the game of his life. Everybody in the country is talking about Jayden Daniels. Ron, as Kelly gets to the point, takes the visor off, fixes his hair for the TV.
The State of the Union address.
Drinks his water.
Yes.
Takes a swig of his water. He's like, questions? Ron's like, did they spy him? Kelly's like, huh?
Yes, I remember. They spy him?
He's like, what? He's like, huh? He's like, Daniels, did they spy him? He's like, I have no idea.
Does it matter?
I have no fucking clue, bro.
I got no clue. Ron?
That's a better question for Jayden.
I do know that he just set a college football record, though.
Yeah.
And if that's how you want to lead off the presser, then, I mean, sure.
I know he had 606
But
yards and 5 touchdowns.
I got no idea what Florida was doing. Are you trying to find that? Yeah, I mean, like, you can tell Kelly can't wait to talk about Daniels.
Not in this regard.
I can't wait to get to the microphone. I mean, there's got to be dreaded walks to the microphone after some games.
Today might be one.
You know, yeah, it could be.
Gotta fire my boy.
Could be, but I mean, like, the Florida game, you're sprinting to the microphone.
Excited.
Did you see what my quarterback did?
Did they spy him?
Did they spy him?
They did, not very well.
Huh?
What?
He kind of gives him like the, what? Like, what? What are you talking about? Ron's like, doubles down.
Yeah.
Daniels, did they spy him? It's like, I got...
From a distance.
I got no clue, man. I got
Next.
no idea. I got no idea.
Next.
Yeah, right. How about the Pelicans? 127-117 winners last night. Brandon Ingram had 30 as they downed the Sacramento Kings in Sacktown last night, which means that they're going to be in Vegas in the semis, bro. They're playing in the semis of this play-in. Herb Jones last night, 23. Herb has developed offensively, dude. I mean, last year I only thought he played because of his defensive prowess. And I will say this, I love the lineup changes with Dyson Daniels and Herb Jones now starting. It gives you more of a defensive-minded approach. But Herb's a threat.
Herb's a stud.
Like, he gets to the rack.
And he's a dog.
He can shoot. Yeah, he wants to get in. Nothing intimidates him.
He's a heartbeat guy.
He's a glue guy, bro. Much more than a glue guy.
Got that clip.
You got Ron?
You got it? Play it.
Did Florida use a spy? Did Florida use a spy? I have no idea.
I don't think that is right. I don't think that's right. Is that right? Play it again.
I think so.
Play it again.
Did Florida use a spy?
He's like,
Did Florida use a spy? I have no idea.
Like, what? My quarterback just said, you just won the Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, he just won the Heisman Trophy.
600 total yards.
Did Florida use a spy?
What?
He's mid-sip. He's like, huh?
I don't know. I have no idea.
He's thinking like in his head. He's thinking like, what the fuck? What? What are you talking about?
This Louisiana I knew was here.
And he's like, he's always
He
like Tyler.
Yeah.
Did Florida
use a spy?
No, I heard you.
He's like,
I just wanted to make sure that's what you wanted to add.
I got no idea. Again, Stewie, one more time.
No, that's Scooter Hobbs. It's got to be.
Is it?
I think so.
It might be Scooter.
Did Florida use
That
a
is
spy?
Scooter Hobbs.
Yeah.
That's who that is.
Did Florida
That's
use
who
a spy?
that is.
Did Florida use a spy? I have no idea.
Scooter.
That's who that is. That is Scooter. In between puffs. He smokes like a chimney, bro.
Yeah.
Did Florida use a spy?
Sweet Lou Holtz.
Sweet Lou Holtz.
Oh, man.
But the Pelicans are in the sim. Dude, they're in the semis.
500K.
I mean, I don't even know how this play-in game works. I don't know how this tournament works. I have no idea.
500K on the line. That's all.
Oh, you just get money?
Yeah, you just get money.
What, every player gets what?
500K?
Yeah,
Every player gets
the winning
500K?
team, every player gets 500K, I think.
Pelicans
That's
play
what
the
Zion's
winner.
playing.
Yeah.
They play the winner of the
Turner.
Suns-Lakers
Take care of that kid.
play-in game. And the semifinal game will be Thursday night. They play the winner of Phoenix and LA.
Have you seen the clip of LeBron and Ime Udoka?
Oh,
Yes.
my God.
I love him, man, Duke.
Yeah, I know.
He's
He's
unapologetically himself.
Did he tell him, like, quit being a bitch?
Yeah, he does.
Don't
he
you throw-
says,
yeah.
he says something like,
LeBron says, stop throwing that word around like
he
that.
gets it like the ball comes in lane, and LeBron screams, walk!
Uh-huh.
And Duque from the sideline says, quit bitching.
Like,
and LeBron says, hey, man, you don't use that word softly or something. He's like, what you gonna do about it? He's like, he comes walking over there, and the audio is incredible. If you can pull it up, the audio is
10 out of
incredible.
10.
The best is the people's faces behind it. Like,
Oh,
like
the
people
woman?
are like, This
Clutching her
dude is
pearls?
like talking. He's going back and forth with LeBron.
Who got kicked out?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Double tech. Get you.
Wait,
See
I
ya.
thought
I thought it was just
I thought
Duca.
he got the boot. And LeBron got to stay in. He just got a tech.
Oh, LeBron stayed?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he threw both of them out.
Nah, he just
That
because
ref
you could
was-
see it. He texts him up and he's like, "You."
Yeah. And Aduke, he's so casual
He's just
about
like,
it.
"All right,
But if you
bet."
look up Aduke when he played, like he was
that guy.
He was the protector. Like I mean, he was.
But he played against LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, he played like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk a little shit to you, LeBron.
He went right at him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've never really seen that before.
Either as
From a
LeBron,
coach,
You
yeah.
could see like even like LeBron was kind of like. Stop bitching, man.
Is the kid in the back? Is his face painted?
L.A., bro.
I don't think I've ever seen a face paint in a basketball game.
He's like playing it like a lion. Play it again?
No, coach. It's like a zombie.
Yeah, I like turtles. It's a bizarre scene.
Watch the
Yeah.
kid.
He got him. He's sitting
Yeah,
there in
he's
the
right
chair.
there.
Kid and his mom is like, "Oh God, they're arguing."
He doesn't like that word.
Look at his I don't know if that is face paint. Let me check.
I think it is.
I think it has to be.
He just got bad posture.
Yeah, he's terrible posture. He just slumped over in that seat.
We can play some basketball or not.
I swear his face was painted though.
That's LA basketball.
His face is painted.
Absolutely. It must be. It was around Halloween, huh?
No, this
I
is
don't know. I think it was like last week.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This game was like last week.
I guess. I mean, you just gotta let the kids do whatever they
Courtside.
want. Yeah.
Courtside in the Lakers game, bro. That's
Yeah.
weird.
It's like Big Daddy. Just let your kid wear whatever he wants.
Shannon Sharp
that big a
said
deal.
courtside tickets, like season tickets for the Lakers, is like $500K or
Oh, I
something like
believe it.
that, like $600K, and he only went to one game this year. He paid for the whole season.
There was someone in the office at Click Here is buying her husband an anniversary gift, and she was asking. She wants to buy him courtside tickets for the Pelicans game, and she was asking. She was like, "Which game should I go to?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you have to choose from?" And she was like, "Well, there's Phoenix." I was like, "I'd go to Phoenix. I'd go watch Durant and them play." I mean, you look it up. It's $1,400 a seat for a courtside seat to watch Durant and the Phoenix Suns play. Now you go play, you go watch the Orlando Magic. It's like $670 a ticket, like $680 a ticket. So, and then there's like the Memphis Grizzlies, like kind of like somewhere in between, like $8. I was like, well, what's your budget? You know, what I mean, I was like, first off, I mean, like, you better be ready to spend.
Yeah, get ready.
Like, I mean,
Feet on the floor.
It's a
I mean,
courtside ticket.
if you're going courtside, like you got to be at least ready to spend at a minimum of $1,200 to $1,400. And I mean, like I said, the lowest one I saw was $680. So I'm talking, you're probably spending $1,500 once it's all taxed and everything's on top of it.
What do you get for the courtside ticket? Do you get free
You get
drinks?
Probably not
experience.
$1,500 worth of a ticket, but I mean, you're sitting 3 feet
Jack
away,
up a three if I want.
right?
Yeah, let me get that rock.
I mean, like there is a possibility that LeBron could run through your chest
Yeah.
Shit.
Or
at
drink-
full speed.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna just
Zion
move.
could run through your chest at full speed while you're
Awesome.
half sipping a beer and taking a selfie.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean?
End
Like-
up like the dude from the Saints.
Yeah, my leg.
I mean,
Alvin Kamara saw it, looked down, and was
He was
like, what the
like,
hell? He goes,
"Oh,
that thing's jacked up.
They didn't even mess with him.
No.
no, I wouldn't even touched him. I would have just.
Because he was going to go help him up with he saw his leg. And he's
That
like,
thing is-
he got
I
it.
still think that in 100 years, when they look back at video of football, they're going to be like, so wait, they've got all this technology.
And you got
Look around you.
And you've got 75-year-old dudes pulling a chain to see whether or not you got a first down and then holding up this digital down marker?
What down is it? I don't know. Shit.
I mean, like
Got
this is at the height of like Apple and Facebook and like all these digital.
It's a multi-billion-dollar
right?
company.
Like, isn't the NFL partnered with Amazon? Yeah, they are. So wait, they're still getting 80-year-old men killed on the sideline?
That man's leg is
snapped. It was a pretzel. It was like
it was broken two different ways.
He knew it was snapped as soon as he got touched. I mean, he was like,
he's just like,
I mean, like,
the TV.
Call somebody. I mean, like, they're like stepping over it, bro.
And all you hear is,
get that down marker. Pick it up. Third down.
Back to work.
You grab the down marker and push forward.
Grab his hat and grab that vest off of this guy. Roll him off the.
If he dies, he dies.
And he is just.
He knew the rest.
It's like, sorry, buddy. Hazard of working in the league. Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here.
Like shoveling and kicking him out of here.
Roll him over.
They're gonna be like, so wait, all this technology, y'all had video cameras in the pylons.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You got video in the pylon. And you're still got 80-year-old men. You got Mitch McConnell out there pulling.
He
you got Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell. You got Biden and McConnell holding the first down markers.
And it's all for 10 yards.
And I mean, you're like, this guy is going to get killed if the ball comes out. I mean, like, you got Alvin Kamara running at you full speed.
There couldn't be a bigger juxtaposition of the best athletes in the world and then an 80-year-old man. Like, what do you think is going to get out the way?
Yeah, right. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Oh, we got to take him to the hospital. Yeah, you do.
No, you need to take him out back and shoot him in the head like a horse. It's over.
I mean,
the quality of life is done.
It just like
He
sue,
can't sue,
it's
right?
unreal. Like, this is the NFL.
That'd be Dick Bavetta made it in the NBA a long time.
Well, I mean, he was on the take.
Bro,
he knew the rules. He knew how to,
he knew how
to get the Lakers and the Celtics to the finals.
Yeah, dude, you don't have to jog all the way across the court. That's foul.
I mean, this man just straight up cracked his leg.
I think he tore his ACL and broke his leg. Like, I think that's what happened.
Like, he had a serious football injury.
Oh, like he's in the IR.
He's done.
I mean,
for the year, coach.
This guy is done, man. I saw a coach get hit. I mean, like, it's dangerous down there, bro.
McDaniel caught one.
Yeah, McDaniel caught one on Hard Knocks, but then another one caught one the other night. Like, I mean, it was in the Bengals game last night.
I mean, could you get
the offensive line coach? I mean, he got chested. I mean, like, guy run to the sideline. I mean, he had nowhere to go. Bam, ran him straight through him. I mean, like, he got up and you could tell.
I'm concussed.
Like, man,
I don't know what that happened today.
Like, I can't even think. What'd you eat for lunch?
I'm about to see it.
Huh?
Didn't Sean Payton take one?
Yes, Jimmy Graham broke his leg.
Jimmy Graham with the touchdown Sunday. That was
where
so
has
random.
he been?
That was so random.
Like, this guy doesn't even dress out his first game. They've had red zone problems all year.
Yeah.
They can't score in the red zone. They put Graham in. They just throw it up. He makes the catch. Like, that's like Dennis Allen. You know, like.
Why'd you sign him? They went 4 for 4 in the red zone Sunday and still lost. Like, all we talked about was red zone woes. Like, we got that corrected.
That's a positive to take away from the weekend.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Just like you said. You keep asking, I'm going to keep telling you nothing because I don't know.
Dude, I mean.
Is Carr going to play? Seems like a good time.
He's got a rib problem and a
concussion.
He got drilled. He's
gotten crushed the last 2 weeks.
One thing you have to say about Carr, like first off, I've never been on the Carr train. I said from the beginning this was going to be a disaster. But
he is tough.
Dude's tough, man. He takes like some of the slow-mo shots on Carr.
Oh, the one 2 weeks ago, it looks like a movie.
Brutal.
Just getting his body.
I mean, it looks like a scene from Playmakers.
Knocked out in the middle of the play. He's like snoring. Trevor Lawrence looked like he took one last night. He said it's just a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Did you see him walk into the tunnel?
It was a bad fall.
Why are we making this man?
That's another
walk?
thing. Like, I was telling, we were watching this last night. I'm watching Trevor Lawrence
struggle,
get carried off the field with a couple of 5'9" trainers. This guy's 6'4". He's not taking any weight off his ankle. Last week, I'm at the Houston Texans game. Tank Dell snaps his leg on the goal line. They bring the cart out. They have the doctor holding his leg.
We're just gonna hold this
off
leg.
of the end of the cart while the guy's like driving
And
through.
it's like bouncing.
I'm
Leg
like,
just.
Well, what's the worst that can happen now?
This is the NFL.
It's already broken.
What is this guy's he's a franchise back. Get this guy a soft cast. And like Trevor Lawrence is like limping down the tunnel last night. Like, put the franchise quarterback on a cart. I mean, like, what?
Take the cleat off at least.
I saw the meme last night. Like, Jacksonville has enough money to put a pool in their stadium, but not enough for a cart for the franchise quarterback.
Did you see the Manning cast when they went to the pool?
The whole thing stopped.
I mean, and the same thing happened. They had Ocho Cinco on. Trevor Lawrence gets sacked and gets hurt. And Ocho Cinco goes, "Yeah, get him off the field on third down." And they go, "Oh no, Trevor!" And he's just like, "Oh, is he hurt?" She's like, "Well, they still got a punt."
Tua was funny, I thought.
I missed Tua. We were had a little mic'd up last night. We had Tommy Moffitt talking a little LSU.
How is Coach Moffitt? Is Moffitt's opened up that football complex, right?
He's doing. We just does the Moffitt method.
Yeah.
He has the app that you can sign up for. Mikey's been doing it. He says, like, I feel like I'm back in a freshman year of college. Like, I can't
make it through a workout.
Yeah, tough to get on the toilet.
Mm.
You got to make that decision quick because I'm going down, which I don't want to work out like that ever again. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's working out like he's going to the league.
Yeah, he's like back doing. No.
Oh, I mean, I'll do it at my age right now. Just
Yeah,
get
like Stewie, I would definitely do that at 26.
Yeah, just get the.
But I mean,
34.
When you get to, Rodsick's 34. Mm-hmm. I still believe.
Yeah,
I still believe it.
Well, he's an athlete.
Yeah, I was
just
still,
don't want that.
Still ancient athlete. Still believe. I mean, like, thanks,
Like
fellas.
a policeman.
I appreciate it.
They got the sheriff carrying.
Yeah, where's everybody?
I mean, where are the people from the Jaguars?
Look at the dude in the back.
I mean, this guy in the Jaguars in the front. You can't be like, "Hey, man, call the cart." Like, this guy's worth $180 million. I mean,
this cop has no idea what he's doing.
It took him 30
Like,
minutes
why
to
am
get
I
to
in
the
this
locker
position?
room.
NFL, dude.
The NFL, and they're
18 billion dollars.
And can we have a conversation about where do these fines go? They're fining everybody now.
Coach, they fine him for everything.
Like the helmet hits that aren't penalties, but they go back and watch the tape, and it's $50,000. Like, who gets that check? Charity. Which one? I can't tell you that.
Roger Goodell.
Yes.
That's the charity.
The National Football League.
Yeah, LLC.
I mean, Tyreek was on somebody's podcast, and he was saying, like, they threatened to kick him out of the game because he didn't have socks on.
Yeah.
Scored an 80-yard touchdown, and they were like, if you don't put those socks on...
I'm barefoot under here, Coach. I ain't wearing anything.
This is track, Coach.
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels named SEC Player of the Year by the Associated Press. It's award season for JD, bro. He's about to start racking up.
Unanimous, too.
Yeah. I think he's about to go Burrow on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to take take everything. You can go ahead and just like start etching the trophies in, making the nameplates. We're here to pick up the awards.
You think he clean sweeps?
Yeah, I do. I mean, at this point, it's become so obvious. Wilson, that was good to hear from Wilson.
Yeah, and the thing that does stink, though, we talked about this a little bit, was because of, I guess you went 9-3. If you don't, I think there's a serious case you can make that LSU wins the Heisman, Biletnikoff, Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line, like you did in 2019, if you just didn't lose 3 games. But now it gives you wiggle room to kind of, that was the conversation around the Heisman, but you should have had, like, the 2019 clean sweep where Jamar gets the Biletnikoff, Joe wins the Heisman, you get the Joe Moore Award for some reason. Like,
Delpit gets the Thorpe.
Yeah.
For the season
I don't think you're going to have
offensive line gets the Joe Moore.
Joe Brady gets the
Broyles.
They can't do
I don't
this
think
to Malik on the Biletnikoff.
They will.
Oh, dude, they're going to. Prepare yourself.
I'm hurt, dog.
I don't think that they're going to win it. I don't think there's a Thorpe
if we're
Award
being
winner.
honest, Delpit didn't deserve the Thorpe
Right.
his junior year. He probably deserved it the year before.
Yeah. His sophomore year.
Glenn Dorsey deserved all that hardware the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is not
so.
new.
I mean, LSU is they've been on the good side of this. They've been on the good side of it.
That's cool.
But to burn, it was never this obvious. I mean, Malik Neighbor, he's run circles around the rest of the wide receivers.
Well, it just felt like the award was already given out before the year started, and there was
that's true.
an actual threat, and I was like, wait.
Coach, turn on the tape. Like, fuck.
He was so good this year, man.
Yeah. NFL chain crew member suffered fractured fibula and dislocated knee.
Oh, my God. Does he have a name?
No.
How
Robert
old is he?
Paulson?
Oh, Nick Piazza.
Hey.
Break your legs.
Yeah.
Watch out, Nick!
Nick
Look out, Nick! I think that was Piazza that just got cleared out by Kamara.
Oh, we're supposed to give me tickets next
I
weekend.
think Kamara just took Piazza out.
Told me to bet the spread.
Fucking Nick, there goes our hookup.
There it is.
What are we going to do now?
Cancel the bet.
Nick
Cash
looks
out.
dead down there. Let him die.
Told
We
me
don't
to
need
take
him
the
anymore.
Saints 3.5. The fucking bum.
He did. He died doing what he loved.
Nick Piazza, how old is he?
That man has to be 65 at least.
I mean, like, what is he doing down there? Nick, you got no business being down there.
See how old this man is.
I mean, dude, he's probably a neighborhood legend now, though.
Oh, yeah, his blood vessels remain intact.
Sweet, thanks.
Because he could. Well, there's a chance he's gonna lose his leg.
I mean, like, good lord.
I mean,
Get
they got
him
him
out of there, man.
They got him on a stretcher though. After
Did
about
they
15
finally take
minutes.
care of him?
Yeah.
Hey, I think the Paisan's gonna die down here.
They still bitching. My leg. I think it was his knee. No, but
bad for that man.
Blood vessels are intact. He had successful surgery. He'll be back out there next year.
Hey, that play closes in on you fast.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara gets there quick.
Yeah.
Like
he's coming.
You're
Oh
just
shit, he's
you're
right
standing
there.
still. They tell you the move to do on the sideline is to not move.
Just take it. Brace for impact.
No, like they say, like let them move.
Yeah, let the athlete.
Let the athlete be the athlete. You don't try to jump out of the way because if you jump in their way, you're dead.
You get what happened to Nick.
But I just stay behind the ball. I caught one close call. Somebody whizzed by me when I was watching the play on the Jumbotron. Like I was standing in front of the ball, watching the game on the Jumbotron, and the play you could see it kind of coming towards, and I tried to react off the Jumbotron, and a DB from Arkansas came like he wasn't stopping.
Oh shit!
Like
That's
he
another
was.
shit moment.
I never saw him, but he went right here. And I mean, like if I take a step, if I'm walking, and a half a second earlier, I take that step, he just blindsides me, ear holes me. Except I got no equipment on.
Yeah, the ear hole is tough.
Yeah, you just have to wear
and from
it.
there, I was like, bro, I'm just stay behind the ball.
Well, unless you're watching a Bo Nix game.
Oh,
he's coming right at you.
Stay away from the ball.
Yeah, you might want to move up a little bit.
But that's the safest place, man. I mean, like Charles Baglio to baby, you don't want to get hit. Stay behind the ball. Who's 77? I was like, Bags, that's Posick. He looks new. I was like, no, he's an All-American.
He's coming right at me.
All right, so appreciate your interaction today. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button. Subscribe if you have not done so. Good stuff from Wilson. Be paying attention to this Brian Kelly press conference.
You know, pretzel.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Eli's face gives it away.
Freezing in there.
Has to be.
For sure.
Freezing.
50
Yeah,
degrees.
bro.
Britney Spears' dad just had his leg amputated.
Oh, wow.
For real?
Breaking news. I was on TMZ. Yeah.
Was he the chain guy?
That's right. Yeah, they were both in the same article, actually. New Orleans.
Had to cut his leg off.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't to cut his leg off. Just put him in surgery together.
Yeah.
Jamie Spears working the Saints game this past weekend.
Amputated.
On the chain crew.
That's what happens when you lose that conservatorship. You gotta get a job, you
Shot
bug.
the tough spot on a Kamara screen. The Sean Payton injury to Jimmy Graham is wicked. Like if you see, like his leg.
Did he stay the whole game?
Yeah, he stayed. He sat on the bench.
Yeah.
He sat on the bench with it like propped up
with his leg just
propped
calling
up.
plays.
And then like after that, he'd go sit up in the press box, and they would zoom in on him, and he had this like dip in his mouth. He had like this huge
jaw. Finally, I could
just
put the
jaw
jaw
in his
in.
mouth, and he was kind of sitting in the window. But his leg injury that he sustained Tampa Bay sideline, Jimmy Graham, was wicked. I mean, It almost like snapped his leg. All right, have a great day. Like button, share button, comment button. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. It's the hottest show around, we ain't gotta flex. Call up G, we get it done, we earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in, where they going next. Throw up the L's, now we lit, band playing Nick. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. Monday through Friday from